All right, so we've read through this and all that. This will be the information rehearsal, and then the next rehearsal will be more detailed interpretation and phrasing, so we do all that. Let me tell you a little bit about this. Anybody know any years for Holst? Approximate? Maybe not. Late 19th century, early 20th century, into the 20th century, okay? Yeah, so he, of course, his best buddy was Gustav Holst, and they both had an affinity for folk songs. And in his biography, his wife says that new arrangements were called for piano accompaniments or choral settings because he knew and he loved the music. Ralph was adept at providing them. So he did quite a few of these, and it permeated his orchestral writing too. Somebody might say, how many? He collected over 800 folk songs. 800, that's a lot. And he used them in lots of his works. This folk song suite, written in 1923, and as I said, it was orchestrated or written for orchestra by Gordon Jacob then in 1924. And we discussed before how probably a little bit of influence from his good buddy Holst, who had written those famous suites. And the first time I heard of this was a young lad in high school, and in the 50s, early 50s, before we were doing anything, the Eastman Wind Ensemble was formed, and he started to produce these recordings of pieces nobody knew about. And here comes the folk song suite, which is an absolute gem. And of course, people probably knew more about the orchestral version than they did the wind version. And now this has become a very famous version of that. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the tunes. I'd like to sing these, but number one, you know how bad my tone quality is, so we won't do too much of that. The other thing is he changes the rhythms all the time. So I can sing a little bit the first phrase or so, if the first few words of it, and that'll give you the idea. But so let's play this first, and then we'll go back and do each one. By the way, the new parts, 2008, they redid all this, so we have separate parts now for percussion, a separate string bass part, which is terrific. And you have the tunes, right, written on the parts, and rehearsal numbers. Isn't that terrific? So it's very good. And you can read these, right? That's very good. So we have 17 Come Sundays, the first one, Pretty Caroline, right? And Dives and Lazarus. He already has 3 lined up, goes back and takes Pretty Caroline back, then goes back and takes 17 Come Sunday, and then we have the famous Picardy Third that we'll describe just a little bit. So it's an interesting A, B, C, B, A, Picardy Third sort of a format that he uses. Okay, so let's play the first phrase, and then we'll see what that's all about. Nice job of reading that down and playing the dynamics. Good for you. There are 2 ways we could get the tempo to work. That's what I like about this. He just says allegro. He says allegro in the last movement too, doesn't he? But they're different tempos. He says, as I rose up one May morning, that's about it. Then it changes there. So if you think of ba-da-dum-bum-beep-bum-bum-bum-bum, that's the tempo. Or what could we say is the tempo just right from the first 4 bars? Folk song suite, folk song suite, folk song. I made that up. Okay. All right. So however you do it, so you say, where are we? We're around between 108 and 110 on the metronome, if you want to just get it ready for that. That'll be approximately what it'll be, okay? And whether you hear the last movement, a lot different from that. All right, here we go. Beginning up, keep going. Okay, this is Pretty Caroline. One morning in the month of May. Both have to do with the month of May. So that's how it starts. And how lovely shone the sun, all the banks and the daisies, gay there sat a lovely one. There's always something like that going on with these, huh? All right. And we've been in F minor for the start of this, a Dorian basically, and now we're getting into A flat major. Nice to do, huh? Great. So let's do the 2 bars there, guys, before, what number is that? 33. That's 31, obviously, huh? All right. Okay, and you already have this Dives and Lazarus piece, right? So Lazarus laid him down, and I won't go on because it changes. Even down in Diverus's door, I can't even say that. Some meat, some drink, brother Diverus do bestow upon the poor. Thou art none of mine, brother Lazarus, lying begging at my door. No meat, no drink will I give thee, nor bestow upon the poor. So it's in F minor, right? That makes sense. Okay, not a nice tune. When you play this, guys, and we discussed the phrasing of this, the ends of these phrases are going to be very like so. And so when we get to the next tune, like when you're playing the accompaniment part, we're going to really charge into those. So it's really a violent subito fortissimo marcato that we're going to do, okay? So let's do that, a little bit of that, hey? How about 49? 49, pick up 2. Right. Jump, jump, jump. So it's fortissimo, right? And the woodwinds when we get back to the number, which is what? It's all fortissimo, right? Okay. What I'd like to do then is to promote this a little bit more on this on the repeat. Okay? So that means you'll back up a little bit. What we don't want to do is say, let's play forte and let's stay at fortissimo. We don't want a drastic change here in what we're doing. We just want to bring this part out the second time a little bit. Sometimes with long repeats, it's a good idea to do something like this just to promote both of the parts. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. My belief is with some of this would be an appropriate spot to do, okay? So it's a rather subtle change here, right? Yeah, let's do then, just before, start at 81, pick up 2, and woodwinds, when you play the first ending here, and even in the second ending, the first ending is going to be light, okay? And then the second ending is going to be rather final, because then we get into our next tune there, okay? All right, what did I say, 81? Good, here we go. Pick up 2, and jump. Yeah, yeah. When we do this next time, and that'll be a week from today, and we will look a little bit today. If it says piano, play piano, pianissimo, play pianissimo, right? So we're not stretching the ends of the dynamic spectrum very well, that's for sure. We'll key in on trumpet, and I think you already know that, so the clarinet can easily do that, and you can hear the trumpet, but you could go ahead and play out more, okay, since you're playing an octave above that, and you want to lead that, why don't you? You know, after 98. Right, good. Exactly so. All right, let's take right after the second ending then, huh? Okay. Pick up to 9/8, guys. Pick up to 9/8. Very nice. Much less if you can. Up, up, up. We're going to take the DC, okay? What I'd like to say, just to get us ahead of next week, shorter, okay? So really very brittle. And I have a plot here, of course, as you can well imagine, because the phrasing will just lay itself out. But if we play these short, that'll be just terrific, okay? All right, beginning out, folk song suite. Do that again so we can emphatically play the Picardy third, huh? All right. 18, huh? 18. And the usual bugaboo is what? But-up, up, da-da-da-da-da. But-up, up, digga-digga-da. Even time, huh? All right, pick up to 18, guys. 1, and... And we'll probably dampen that fairly, yeah. So what happens in a Picardy third here? What's a Picardy third, basically?
Harmonic mixture?
Yeah, I mean, what's harmonically? Not a good question. What?
Playing a third turns into a major third.
Well, yeah. There's a classic chord progression, too, that's sort of, he lifted this. You're right. I mean, it goes from major to minor. No? Okay. Basically, it's a 2-6-3 to a tonic chord. So if you take that and invert it like so, it's a seventh chord, that's what you get. So when we rehearse this the next time, the seventh is really important to hear. That's in the horn part, so we'll do that, okay? Great. On we go. Second movement. Good for you. Second movement, My Bonnie Boy, obviously, then Green Bushes and back to My Bonnie Boy, so it's an ABA song form, basically. It makes sense since it's a form. And Andantino, that tempo, there's another thing. So let's see. We'll play the beginning and let's see what the words are to help us out with this, okay? You go ahead and all take a breath together and don't worry about me, okay? Yeah, this should be one player. Do you have it on your part? No? Okay. You're coming that? Okay, that's good. Good. Can you hear him pretty well? Yeah. So you want to use a little less vibrato. Let him use a little more vibrato, okay? Good. We'll catch this next week. F minor, guys. Here we go. sort of goes along. I once loved a boy, a bonny boy, a bonny boy. I loved him, I'll vow and protest. Ironic to have me sing Bonnie Boy, I know, I realize that. Okay, so if you're thinking of, do I love my old Bonnie, Bonnie Boy, you're going to hit about 80. It could go 84 maybe. So that's about where you want to measure this, okay? So at the beginning, we want to feel that. And the tempo, again, is all in the words. If you don't know the words, God knows what tempo. Have you heard this played much slower than this? Sure you have. So we could have, I once loved a boy. Stay away from that lady. She has no personality whatsoever, you know. All right? Or I once loved him and I'm 90, which would be that slow, I suppose. But we're going to go after a little more youth like you folks, all right? And once more at the beginning, we'll keep going. This accompaniment theme, which he doesn't use a whole lot, this is a beautiful theme, and the octaves are very present, so we want to tune to the clarinet. If we can hear him, that'll be great. And you can go ahead and use a vibrato there whenever you're playing along with all of that, okay? So, yeah, and when the oboe comes in, good, great, very good, okay? Nice job, guys. The crescendos, diminuendos, you get ahead of the game here, are very subtle. It's almost like that. Okay, because if she's singing this tune, I once loved a boy, says this reminiscence, I would presume she'd be rather sedentary and probably not running, jogging or something. I mean, it'd be something very much, so my view of these would be just opens up a little bit. So there must be some nice thought. Oh, that was a nice time we had, like so, okay? So we can think of that, I think that'll help quite a bit. Good. So let's start before that happens, huh? That'd be 3 before 23, which must be 20, is that right? Right at the end of the phrase, with F minor again. Dee, da, da, dee, da, 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 da. And that's always the choice. Do we slow down? Do we not slow down? You know, and we can do it either way. Let's try it for right now, just with right into the next tune, okay? All right. Green Bushes. Wait till you hear my rendition of that. I'm sure you can't wait. All right. 3 before 43, guys. 3 before 43. Oops. Yeah, we're going to bleed across. That's why he has the tie, of course. So we want to sing into the next bar and just push the sound out of there, guys. Okay, once again. basically has to. Now the rhythm is very different here. As I was walking one morning in spring, so everything's spring in this first movement. For here to the birds whistle and the nightingale sing. I saw a young damsel, so sweetly sang she, down by the green bushes. She thinks to meet me. So it's all love tunes there for some odd reason. Okay. All right. So here's 43. Can we play this lighter, guys? So the texture of the triangle just permeates everything. And the scoring is gorgeous because it's just very open, okay? Great. And we're playing the tenuto as more of the bell, so think of the ba, which is the impact of the triangle, and we'll be right where we want to be here, 43. And that's the picture, yeah, good. And to the saxophone and trumpet, that's mezzo forte, so you're giving us a more robust version of that, and that's okay. Clarinets, because of where he wrote this, we need to hear you play out when we have this do 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 da 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 that business, okay? It's a beautiful line, and of course, when you release everything, we want to release as less as possible, okay? Yeah, the whole thing is kind of chuck. Now we've got you're doing this while everybody else is still like so. Beginning out, not 43. Play out a little bit more, guys, and that'll be very acceptable. Well, we still need to play so I'd like to keep the articulation the same as what they were playing. It's just the texture changes there. Now, somebody else might do that differently, and that's okay, all right? You just happen to be sitting there with me standing here, so that's how it's going to go, all right? More clarinet, guys. What I'm after is so it goes from here to light to dark to light, sort of like that. Okay, good. Tuba 460, right? Tuba 460. Gentle. Okay, yeah, let's look at this. Very rarely do you hear anybody really crescendo to a forte, which it really does. So let's make sure we all do that. Bum bum ba da da dum bum yum ba da dee da da. Now to define the way this antiphony works is if we can play with lots of articulation on the C concerts, like the oboe has, and then the clarinet, David, you have a high D there, and second clarinet. Dee da da da, dee da dee da, dee da 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 dee da. It'll give not that it's accented or anything, but it'll give it a little more clarity. So the whole thing goes jump, 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 ba da da da, dee da da da, dee da da da, doo da dee da. It sort of breaks apart. Okay. All right. Nice playing, guys. Once more, tuba 460. I think you're getting the idea. Good for you. And. Yeah, give me a little bit of time, so a bit of a rallentando to the end. It seems like this thing should just almost stop breathing here. So why don't we do that? Does it feel like that for you too? Or yeah, just it's one of those spots where that should happen. Okay, nice job, guys. It's going to sound just terrific. My intention isn't to play the repeat of Bonnie Boy really much slower. I'd rather we keep the pace going. It feels like you want to play it softer, right? Because of the scoring, it's very dark down there. So if we can just keep the pace moving here, I think that would be a better way to go. So we can play 78 just one more time here, okay? Pick up the 7/8. Right, and later on we'll work out how long that last note should be. Good, last movement. Blow away the morning dew. This will be quicker. So let's play this. Then I'll tell you the form after I sing the tune here because that's rather interesting. All right, here we go. There was a farmer's son, kept sheep all in the hill. Well, okay. And he walked out one May morning, boy, he loves May, to see what he could kill and sing, blow away the morning dew, the dew and the dew. Blow away the morning dew, how sweet the winds do blow. Okay? So we've got that one, right? What's the next one? High Germany. Yeah, which I'll get to sing. Blow away the morning dew comes back. Then the tree that grows so high. Then John Barleycorn. Then he goes back to blow away the morning dew and back to High Germany, right? So it's kind of an A, B, A, C, D, A, B. That sounds like a rather convoluted rondo. I don't think that's what he meant, but that's sort of what it's like if you listen to it, okay? All right, here we go. My after here, guys, is a B here. B, it up, up, beep, up, up. What tempo do you think we're around? Any clue? Quicker than the first tempo, or the first movement, yeah? Around 120. Works. Okay? Good. Somebody would say, well, we have a British march tempo. My view is, what's that? Yeah, okay. And it's a British march tempo because it was written by a British fellow. So we'll presume that this tempo is as British as it gets, huh? Right? So a real tenuto. Isn't that how that feels? Yeah, yeah. Blow the way morning dew is kind of, oh, it's morning in May. Here is, oh, okay. He sings, oh, Polly love, the rout has now begun. And it changes rhythm. And we must march away to the beating of the drum. Go dress yourself in all your best and come along with me. I'll take you to the cruel wars in High Germany. Okay? This sounds like 19th century exuberance over fighting until you get there is what I would think. Huh? All right. Now let's just play this. Pick up to what number? 29 maybe? Okay. Nice job, guys. Pick up to. Whoa, wait a morning dew. This is how, ooh, yes, we'll fix that, won't we, okay? The trees that do grow high and the leaves they do grow green, but the time is gone and past, my love, that you and I have seen. It's a cold winter's night, my love, when you and I must bide alone. The bonny lad was young but a growing, okay? So it sounds like they have a son or something. So this is kind of like so. Now, what I prefer that we do, guys, and we're going to go back just a bit here, when you go into 6/8, it's the bar before the 6/8 where the fine is, where we know we're going to go back after the DS or DC. I prefer that this accent is less than the final accent, which makes kind of sense. So it's yep, up, 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 and then ba, okay? Because my view of that is it should be different both times. So let's play 6/1. How about bum, 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 ba, okay? Bup, bup. It's forte, isn't it? Yipe. Yeah. It's so nice. Yep. So really go. Not as much as the trombone bap in Lincolnshire Posy or the saxophone they got to play, but still strong, okay? All right. Everything's so nice, and somebody out there must be lurking somewhere we hear. That's what we're after, all right? 7/8. Whoops. 7/1. First time. Oh, yeah. This is hard to do because it's hard to sing. Again, rhythm is all different. There was 3 men, bad English, come from the north, the victory to victory. Then these 3 men did vow and declare John Barleycorn should die. To my right follow Rulladiddle, Diddle, Folly Roy, right Folly Rully Day. I don't think I rallied too well there, but that's sort of one of those little day things. All right. I didn't sing that in the first piece tune, by the way, because I knew I'd have a problem trying to get that out. All right, so here comes John Barleycorn. All right. Pick up 2. Up. Bup. So if we can play that a little more definite, but still dut, okay? Because then the second ending is boom, because we just finished John Barleycorn and away we go. So we play a little short to be good. How about right at 105? Right at 105. let's do that again so the woodwinds don't get afraid. Okay. You see how that goes? It's a wonderful spot in the music, okay? 105 again. You know how I feel about little things that last a little long. They're a very short amount of time, but they're really special. That's one of them, all right? 105. Do we rallentando? Do we not rallentando? That will be our decision we'll make at the end. And I like to do this so we sort of do it together and make whatever decision it is. What do you think about that? Sure. Okay. Good job. So the next time we do this, the next rehearsal is going to be all, what's the phrasing going to be like? What parts do we want to bring out, particularly in some of the accompaniment parts that when you just read through it like this seem rather innocuous, but they're really important. A lot of great horn parts to play, so be ready for that. And I think it's nice to be able to hear in here, right, to play all that. That's going to be just great. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you the next time. Thank you.